be talking about the contamination. We chose this topic by major changes in climate that have occurred in these days. We daily go out to college and usually have problems in this regard. For the location of our university, we realized that is a little better view, but pollution, but not a place that can be, and that this issue is not achieved admire. Some of the most polluting compounds and insecticides, they are really dangerous for the environment and ourselves. And the worst is that they often do not even work. There are some more planet-friendly alternatives than alternatives than we will tell you.
Contamination is defined as the presence in the environment of any chemical, physical or biological agent or contamination or biological agent or a contamination of several agents in places, forms and conditions or harmful or might be harmful the health, safety or welfare of severity or welfare of the population or harm to plant or animal life or prevent the use or enjoyment of the property and places of recreation. Hidden says that
Yes.
Hidden says that these agents should be in places, forms and conditions that are or may be harmful. When we talk about places, we should note that there are agents that being in a certain in a species cannot interact with the other elements of the environment and therefore do not inherent damage. This wolf not the contamination.
Origin. Contamination can be natural or anthropologic origin. A volcano, for example, generates large amount of suspended particulate matter (MPC) that can be contaminated that enter the lungs of living beings and damage the respiratory system. The man had nothing to do with the eruption of the volcano, which we say it has a natural origin. Anthropological will be when man is generate, for example, in many mines, also particulate matters, in generate in suspicions MPC. The effects on the health of the population and the environment may be similar, but in this case, the source of this contamination has been the man. When we talk about the sources, it is important to know whether it is specific or non-specific. The first are those that are easily knowing contamination found in the environment and knowing that activity produced through an investigation may know who produced it.
Exhibition. No, espérate. It is what's now a chronic experience that occurs when we are in contact with the contaminant a long period of time but a relative low level. After exploring homework is when we are experienced of the substance of a short period. For the concentration is with that its effects are very harmful. Contaminants in the environment. The problem with contaminants
Más alto, un poco más.
Contaminants in the environment. The problem with contaminants in the interaction with the world around us. Agents enter and the environment, the atmosphere, hydrosphere, geosphere, and biosphere. These are caged receiving means and the paint on the which on the them consented. The contaminants then they have different. Es que me doy risa. Ya, güey, no mames.
Ya, están ahí, sí.
Ahí está, ya. Prevention. Contamination with almersul layer and small with hubs in other sections of ecopipes can be avoided. For example, we use the car left. We buy only what we, if not wasted, it with careful hazardous household products. If we use more environmentally friendly alternatives. Control is, in this case, try to minimize or reserve the damage level once the contamination have already been generated. Recycling, treatment, or proper disposal as other ways. Actions: air freshener, replace mixture on flowers natural. All or incensing the lights located are more pleasant and are not harmful to the environment.
With these alternatives, often the problem remains because all it does is move its promulgation or delay the solutions. We must also bear in mind that it is not always easy to deal and with pollutions after they have been generated. That is why, when we have a choice, we always prefer prevention measures over those of control. To clean and disinfect is there are an action friendly with the planet for decontamination. Nothing better than a mixture of boric acid and hot water. Not only will achieve significantly reduce contamination with hazardous substance, but also be helping the family economy. It's much cheaper than cleaners sold in the supermarkets. Vinegar used for glasses. The first costs a little more because the previous products should be removed, but then we'll see which provide the same result as commercial cleaning. Sodium carbonatum with water will help clean the oven. Another example is lemon paste to polish metal. Boric acid mixed with baking soda is an excellent detergent. Continue with an actions prevents and family with the word in favor of contamination. Another thing you should consider is not littering the kitchen sink or toilet. In most of our cities, there are not adequate treatments for our effluents, which eventually end up pollution rivers and lakes.
Conclusion. With this exhibition, we can realize that the advance of science has brought great benefits, but has benefits but has increased by industry much pollution, and because we are used a people who consume and when cannot take care of things. We believe that we should make preventive measures to gradually improve our environment and have a better life. Speaking of this, wanted it make know the importance of change habits, not only social why implies our career, but through change in activities that can bring that can bring use a better world. Because if we continue because if we continue like this activity daily we do and that in the future we want for our race exercise might not be entered and the activities we use it to do in the future will be just a memory.